Good morning, good morning. Hope you're all having a fantastic day, and welcome back to FGL Beginner Guides, where we're talking and focusing on Outlaw Troopers. And today we're going to do a deep dive into missions to show you different missions and really show you how to send your troops out and then recall them. Just the different types of missions, also the daily missions, which is brand new with the Season 5. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. In order to check your missions and get new missions, you're going to go to companions. Every companion that you go ahead and you hire or you recruit will give you a different mission that you can go ahead and run. They give you some cool bonuses as far as passive. This one gives you passive credits and ore. This one gives you passive gear and so forth. But the main thing that you want to go ahead and grab these for is the missions. So once you have a few of the companions here recruited, if you go up to the top left here and you click on missions, you're going to see a whole bunch of missions. So if you are just starting the game, you're probably going to have less missions here strictly because you have less companions that are recruited. You may only see the first 3 here, which are part of the initial tutorial. As you continue to add the companions, there will be more selected. So there are a bunch here right now. There's a total of 8 of them. I have 7 of them available. And each one does a specific thing, and they all kind of balance each other out, which is great. As a beginner, the first 2 you're probably going to focus on is the heist and the hijacking. They are free to run. The heist gives you credits, which is used for a number of different things, whether it's running missions, whether it is if you get enough credits, you can exchange it for FGL, and then you also use it to run the encounters, for the robotic encounters, I should say. And then you have the hijacking, which gives you ores, which allows you to also run some missions and allows you to buy stuff off of Joe's shop. And that's a whole other video where we talk about the actual shops themselves. And then also it helps you upgrade your gears as you go through the season. These 2, as I mentioned, are free to run. The next one on the list is salvaging. Salvaging gives you gears. You get gears through the companion, and you can also run troops there and focus on gathering gears. The more gears you get, the better you'll be able to upgrade your gears to higher rarities. And the higher rarities, if you get up to epic, you'll be able to mint, or obviously use in game, which gives you a stronger encounter or missions. Then you have hijacking, which gives you the access keys that you need to run encounters. It costs you credits in order to do that. And then you got supervision, which we'll talk about here in a second. It's free to run. It reduces your corruption, but that's a whole, let me get through these before we really talk about that. And then you have this one, which is robot parts. It costs you credits and ore in order to run it. And what it gives you in return is robot parts. If you get 100 robot parts, plus the credits and a few other things, you can go ahead and mint the little robots that we talked about in the previous video that allow you to run robotic missions. They also let you run regular missions here and give you some sort of reward for it. And then last on the list here that I have is the counterfeiting, which gives you virtual mechas, which can be used for planet missions or planet mining instead of getting Mecha World NFTs and using them in game. This costs ore. And as you can see with all of these, except for this one, there's a corruption penalty, a base corruption penalty. If you get a corruption penalty that's too high, you're going to really impact your missions themselves. What the corruption does, it reduces the rewards that you're going to get from each mission, and it makes these ones that cost have a cost to them. It increases the cost that is connected with them also. So understand that. If you look down here, you'll see my corruption is minus 75, which is good. I actually have a trait that reduces my overall corruption. If this was over, like at plus 10 or above, I'm going to start seeing impact to my rewards from the mission. So always keep an eye on your corruption. If it starts getting too high, you can go ahead and run the supervisor mission, which is free to run as long as you have a troop and a ship, which allows you to reduce that overall corruption. It does take quite a bit to reduce it, depending on how much you have in there. But you always have the option to run troops there and reduce that corruption to get better rewards. So you got to weigh what's best for your situations. It's a strategic move here. So let's go ahead and jump in. Since most of you that are watching this are probably on the newer side, we'll focus on the heists and the hijacks. I'll also go ahead and show you some salvaging because that's probably the next thing, because gears is very important in this game. Well, they're all very important in this game. but the gear is going to be the next item on your list. So let's go ahead and jump into Heist. When you click on that, it's going to automatically fill in the best items from the ship and from the trooper. You're going to go ahead and have to manually put in your gear, but it'll automatically put it in here. So it'll show your best ship. If you want to change your ship, you can go ahead and click on it and select any of your ships in here. In order to run the mission, you need a ship and a troops. You do not need gear in order to run it, but it's a nice little bonus. If you do not have any ships, whether it's a Cosmic class ship or you've already gone to the terminal, make sure you jump up here and go to the terminal, and you can go ahead and hire virtual ships that go away at the end of every season. So if I go ahead and hire this one right here, rent it for 5 million in-game credits, I'll be able to use it all the way through the season, but at the end of the season, they disappear and the credits you put on it are gone, which isn't a big deal. It only becomes a big deal once you get up to these higher tier ones. And as you can see from each tier that you go up, it increases the rewards. This one's 40, and then if I go up to the next one, it'll be 70. And then the legendary virtual one is 110. So now that I have ships, I'm going to go back over here to missions. I'm going to go back to here to Heist. And I'm going to go ahead and I already have this selected. I'm going to go ahead and run with the one that it identified for me. With the troops, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I can select any of these. You can even use the little robots that give you a very small portion. In this case, it'll give me, I think, 5 credits for every second. So we'll keep it as is. And then you have the gears. Depending on the level troop that you have, will depend on the slots that you have available here. If it's common, it's only going to be 1 slot. If it's a rare, it's going to be 2, and so forth. If you have, and it also all depends on the type of character it is. So that's a whole other video as far as the different types of troopers we'll do. But you want to go ahead and fill these, especially if you have the gear. You'll see each of these gives you a different bonus. For example, this one increases your mission reward by 20%. This one grants you 0 corruption. So if you're running one of those really heavy corruption ones, it might be worth it here, but the problem is it decreases your reward by 250% also. So there's give and take with some of these. So you go through the process and you select which ones are the best. You confirm your selection. And once you have them all in there, you can go ahead and confirm deployment. And what it's going to do is it's going to give you the next set. It gives you the next best option. And if you want to, you can go ahead and click. Just go ahead through here quick and just select them all if I want to run them all on this heist. If you don't want to run them all on this heist, or you accidentally click too many times and you want to call some back, you go down here to this little person tab. It's gonna, if you scroll down a little bit, it's going to show you all the troops that I have out on missions right now. Say I accidentally clicked that one too many times. I want to bring this guy back. Go ahead and click on him. Oops, he's on salvaging. Go ahead and click on this one. The heist, you'll see that it shows the heist, corruption, it shows all the details of it and the rewards that you're getting. So I accidentally clicked on him. I didn't want to send him. So I go ahead and highlight him. And if you scroll back up here, you're going to see callback selected. It's going to bring him back and make him available. And I'm going to go ahead and switch him to a different mission. So we'll go back up here to missions. Or hijacking is the exact same process. I'm not going to show you that because I wanted to show you something else. But you see from the gear here and from the traits that I have that I showed in a previous video, what it does is shows you my initial reward, which is going to be 15 ore per second. But with the traits and the gear that I have available, it's going to give me an extra 30 credits per section and an extra 20 ore per second, which is pretty big. I'm actually going to earn more from my bonuses than from the actual work that I put in there. But what I wanted to show you is I don't want to do the hijacking. I changed my mind. Let's go ahead and go back. Let's show you salvaging, because this one's going to cost you a little bit in order to run. So I wanted to highlight it. Again, it autofills the best options that you have available. What I can do for salvaging is 1 random gear per 65 minutes. So I'll go ahead and do that. If I go ahead and remove my bonuses or I change to a different trooper that's less rarity, this time's going to go up. It could be 75 minutes for every gear. I'm still going to get the bonuses of 30 extra credits per second, and it's going to cost me free because of one of the slots that I have, one of the gear that I have in here. But you see that I have an empty slot here, so we'll go ahead and click on that. You'll see that's empty right there. Right now in here, I have increased the mission rewards, and then I have the one that also increases mission rewards. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select this one because it gives you a 5% chance of doubling. And then we'll go ahead and click on confirm. Normally this would cost, but because I have certain traits, it reduced the cost for me. So we'll go ahead and click on confirm. And now he has been assigned. There you go. Now he's been assigned. Let me quick show you when something's actually going to cost. Let's go down to counterfeiting because that's the most expensive one. But if it costs something, it's going to show you here that it cost me 110 ore per second just to run this. So you either have to have good bonuses that are going to reduce that cost, or you got to run the hijacking mission, which increases your overall ore. So that's the basic missions. You're going to be running a lot of these, especially with the troops that you have. You can also run them. If I go ahead and click on hijacking, those robots that I mentioned, go ahead and click on here. You have the option to select these robots. If you go ahead and click on that, it's going to show I have 4 that I own, and I can put them anywhere on this list as far as these 5 missions go. You can't go with the higher ones, but I can go ahead. Right now I have all 4 on hijacking. Say I want to move those, I'm going to put that back to 0. I want to put all 4 of them on heist, or if I want to put 2 on heist and then 2 on hijacking, you'll see the rewards that you'll go ahead and get here. For heist, you're going to get 5 credits per these robots. For hijacking, you're going to get 1 ore per these robots. So it really depends on what your strategy is and how you want to move forward with it. And then you just click confirm. It goes out there and they start running for you. All right, one more thing I wanted to cover, which is brand new this season. It's daily missions, also known as bounties. So if we go ahead and click on bounties and you scroll down, you go ahead and see that there are remaining quests, daily 1. I only have 1 that's available right now in order to run these, and I already ran it for today. But if you get a lot of troopers, you can go ahead and run multiple of them. This is actually a screenshot from the leaks section in the Discord. Again, the description in the Discord will be down below, or a link to this Discord in the description down below. So you have many different options. If you have more and more of these types of characters, you can go ahead and run a bunch of bounties or daily quests. You have a cap of 20 that you can run. Each tier, each rarity, you see the commons are cheaper to run, but the rewards are a lot less. If you go up to the rares or the epics, you're going to see an increase in the cost to run them, but the rewards are much better. So this is a new addition. You can run these every single day, get some additional rewards from them every day. It's just a nice little bonus that they have in there. So that's missions in a nutshell. I hope this answered any questions that you have for it. If you have any additional questions, go ahead in the comments down below and let me know. Also, if you want any other beginner guides, go ahead and let me know down in the comments below, and I'll be happy to put those together for you. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.